Okay, guys. First off, I want to apologize. It looks like we had an internet issue. I think we got that solved now. Um, Looking to double check a couple things here, but I think we are fixed. I don't know what. I know we've been having some interesting weather in the area. Not that I don't think that isn't a common story pretty much everywhere right now. So I don't know if that was what caused the issue or if we just, hey man, great to see you. Sorry if I lost you during the first stream. We, like I said, I literally lost internet on everything. So tried to get reconnected, had to actually do a restart on a couple things real quick to get back in. Like I said, not that everybody isn't these days, but I know there's been some interesting weather in the area. We've been in the 80s for the last week and a half, and then out of nowhere, we're getting snow today. So, life. um, Nice. Great. I appreciate you joining in and getting in here, man. Yeah, I was a few minutes late getting started tonight myself, and then we turn around and have the issue with the internet there, so that kind of popped us over to the to a second half of the stream here. So we'll still go for a little while tonight. Before the stream got cut off, I was talking about the changes that I think Kabam has made, that it has made it a lot harder to be an alliance leader or an officer. Now, I did point out before that they have made some really positive changes, with the auto enlist and the enlistment phase for Alliance Quest. These type of things, make it a lot easier, give us more time where we don't have to be right on it every single day, making sure everything's set up and all that type of stuff. Also, not making sure that I have to be available at a specific time of the day every single day of Alliance Quest. Those are very pro. But with the taking away of the 1 day, 3 day, and 5 day events, the amount of rewards that used to allow to players, especially free to play players, it has drove the idea of the necessity to be very picky about the alliance that you're with. Even more so before than when they upped the Alliance Quest rewards, and even and added in the Glory Store, and definitely even more so than when they buffed the season rewards for Alliance War. It's I personally think it's changed the focus for what people are looking for in an alliance, and I think it hurts the community. Not only does it hurt free-to-play players, but also it creates a bit more of a barrier to entry for people looking to start playing this game. I was talking about when we got cut off there, the idea that if you're just getting in the first month or so of the game and people are asking you to do map 5 and be in a gold 3 alliance, that's not realistic. It's not. There's too much learning curve to this game to just jump up to those to even map 5. Not to mention, on top of that too, I know one of the biggest advantages to map 1 and 2 is the fact that you don't have to tie up your champions. I haven't been running map 2 in an alliance in a long time. Just started running. I'm running map 2 right now in the channel alliance, but that's only because we literally have myself and one other member in there right now. And until we do have other people, there's really not a point to tying up our champions, and keeping people from having the ability to just be able to do whatever they want. But that's one of those things that I I do think that that's even more reason why the necessity for the Channel Alliance at this point. I've always been that person that, as a leader, I want people to know that life comes first, that you do not have to spend 13 hours in the game a day to be in an alliance. That if you are willing to communicate with me and let me know what's going on, even if you have to miss a round of Alliance Quest or War, which for my main Alliance War is actually even optional. We only run 2 battle groups, so nobody has to be in every single round, and we only run War during season. So that, it's during the time period where you get max potential out of it. Now, mind you, that is a group that I am still, excuse me, a group that I'm still trying to get formed together as it is. Even that alliance, I don't have 30 people that I can count on quite yet. I'm getting there. We've got a decent group going right now. We've got about 16 people right now that are consistently active, and I'm weeding out the rest or trying to figure out how to help them get to a point that they are going to be able to do what we're doing. And I mean, even with that, we're not pushing that hard. So it's not really asking a lot from anybody. But the Channel Alliance, as I mentioned, is open for anybody who, honestly, if you're just having a hard time finding someplace to be in an alliance, that's a good place to get together with a few people and have a chance to grow. Or if at some point I do get a group of 15 to 20 people that want to very much so be focused on one thing or another, War, Alliance Quest, Battlegrounds, be it whatever, or a combination of, I will make sure that alliance has that ability, and I will remaneuver anybody that doesn't fit into that into another alliance. I have no problem with running multiple alliances whatsoever. I've done it a few different times. It's demanding, but a little easier these days. The problem I have these days is recruitment. Honestly, one of the things I really wish that Kabam would do for a long time, that I don't make a big issue because of the fact that I figured out early on that if I use line chat, I could get around it, is a good communications ability in game. I don't know how many people have gotten turned down for being in an alliance, even by myself, because they were either unwilling to download line chat, or just didn't have the ability to. And I don't want to be a stickler, but at the same time, when you've got 29 other people counting on you to be there and you're not, being able to communicate that, or, not to mention on top of that too, one of the things that I've helped a lot of people in their growth with is looking at somebody's masteries. Okay? If I wasn't using line chat with all the alliances that I've used it with over the years, I couldn't have somebody send me a picture of their masteries. I couldn't have somebody send me a picture of their champions. I couldn't send them pictures of mine outside of, the channel now, obviously. These types of things, they matter. Okay, yes, you can see who somebody's top 4 champions are. But again, if you were just talking back in the day where Alliance Quest and Alliance War were the only 2 things that you had to worry about, that in itself is 16 champions that you got to focus on. 4 out of the 16 doesn't tell you what somebody has to work with. It also doesn't tell you if somebody has a champion that they're sleeping on that they don't realize that, hey, maybe that one's somebody that if you tried and you liked could make a major difference to your account. I know a lot of people that leave Quake unleveled up because first off, she's not available as a 6-star. Second off, she does have a learning curve to her. And if somebody doesn't show you the benefits of her, she seems like a limp noodle until you know how to use her. That's just one easy example. I don't know how many people I've helped over the years that were like, man, I just don't seem to be able to get my champions as high as yours. What's going on? And it was because they didn't have their mastery set up right. They had everything, my masteries. I'm going to show you guys. They're not perfect by any means, but they work. Okay. But one of the things that I see a lot is, especially with people who haven't been shown masteries, is a lot of people loading up on strength and greater strength and vitality and greater vitality. And that's where their first points go. They end up with 18 in each of those, 9 in each of those, when anyone who has ever really looked into masteries understand that those literally are starting blocks. You throw 1 in there just to unlock everything beyond that. Okay? Those are not the masteries that are going to make your difference. Those are not the masteries that are going to give you the extra, PI. They're not the masteries that are going to give you your extra abilities. They're not the ones that are going to make your bleed better or things like that. Back when parry was further down the line, that was another one that, if you didn't understand that you needed the points there. I've seen plenty of people that I've shown them that mastery setup or a similar one, and it changed their entire ability to progress in the game. So having that communications ability is a key aspect. And as a matter of fact, as an alliance leader, it's the one thing that I am a stickler about. As long as you're communicating, I will work with you every time. I will adjust the people in the battle group. I will make sure that you're covered on things like that. Life always comes first. And that has been my number one rule as an alliance leader. But when everybody's pushing for the top of the game, that makes a huge difference in who you can recruit. And with some of the easier rewards to get being removed recently, I think that it has made it even harder to recruit members. And I'm not saying this just because the channel alliance hasn't taken off. I have the main alliance here. I have no problem moving my backup account back into my main alliance without a problem. I can run it. I don't need a second account, a second alliance to run my account out of. I created that alliance for you guys, if you guys want that. And it's there. It will be there. It will continue to be there. I have one person over there in it now. I know a couple other people who have reached out to me. Some that were a little, were looking for it to be a little faster. But that's okay. I'm. It is. It's open and available. That's the most important part. I'll say that it's open and available for everybody. But I really do think that one of the things Kabam has missed on lately is making it easy, making alliances valuable to every member of the community. And I think that's something that that is important, because I don't know that I would have stuck with this game for 7 years, and I definitely don't know that I would have a channel today if it wasn't for the fact of the original 15 guys that I started my first alliance with. Sorry, guys. A little frog in my throat. But, you know, the guys that I to this day am so grateful to have spent years playing this game with. The guys that have followed me from one alliance to another, that have went through mergers and splits and everything else. And the guys that even when I stepped away from the game, not fully, but, you know, couldn't be active enough to do right by the people that I had in my alliance, still stuck around and still, you know, reach out to me on a regular basis as friends. That is what makes this game. And that is what Kabam needs to make sure they're focusing on. New game modes are great. New champions are wonderful. The 7-star pool. Guys, I'm still stoked about this 7-star pool. I know we'll see a lot better champions in it in time, but they definitely did us right this time, in my opinion. Having that good of champions for once in a new start, where there's even the duds of the pool are champions that, especially as a 7-star, are going to be absolutely wonderful to add to your roster. But I think they need to remember 100% that this game is about the community. It's about the people that play it. It's about the friendships that we make. It's about the ability to enjoy the game with others. And we need to get back to finding ways to make sure that that's possible for everybody, from new players to veterans, and make sure that there is not a push that I'm afraid is coming to go back to what happened when map 5 came out for me and my original group. And that was a tyrant alliance leader that said, either A, you make sure that you have these champions leveled up, and you make sure you clear your path every single time. I don't care if you have to revive. I don't care if you have to heal up. I don't care what you have to do. Get your champions better and get through those paths, or you're out of the alliance. And I've heard so many people over the years with so many nightmare stories about their alliance leaders, and so many people over the years who have been so grateful for the fact that I have been understanding when life happens. That should never be something that you should have to worry about to play a game. And removing some of the small rewards, the amount of units we were getting out of the 1, 3, and 5 day events, the amount of shards we were getting out of the 1, 3, 5 day events, the amount of energy refills we were getting out of them make a difference to why a person's in an alliance. And it makes a difference to what alliance leaders start pushing for. And there are going to be those out there in the community that are going to get to the point that either you're able to do map 6 or above, and that you are competing at a gold 1 or shooting for platinum. And if you're not able to compete, then get better, spend units, or get out. And I never want to see that be the mentality of the majority of our community. Because this is not what this community is. Guys, I know nerd culture is more acceptable than it ever was, but there's plenty of us that are playing this game that are in our 40s, 50s, and beyond that remember being a comic book nerd or being into video games did not make you acceptable. But the friends that you made that were also into those things made it okay. And enough of us got ridiculed as a child for what we enjoy and how we enjoyed it. The last thing we need to do is have a bunch of nerds turn on one another for some in-game rewards. And that is my long-term, ongoing soapbox moment. So, well, guys, like I said, I just kind of wanted to talk about some of that stuff this week. Just kind of get it off my chest. I'm probably going to do a more in-depth video on the changes to alliances and rewards. Talk about some of the different things that I think are going great with the game and stuff here soon. Like I did mention, Act 6.4 got delayed. The first level was supposed to be out on Saturday. Kind of got busy, and so we'll have that out on Tuesday. We'll have a crystal opening out tomorrow, and then we will be back on finishing up the Thronebreaker series. After that, we are going to go ahead and start the push for Cavalier on the backup account, and it looks like we're going to be starting Paragon on the main account. And we're going to start mixing up a few other things in there as well. But we will have the live on Sunday every week and a crystal opening for every Monday morning. So I hope you guys continue to join me and continue to support the channel, because that's why I do this, is for each and every one of you, and to help our community thrive, our community grow, and to give a place for everybody to belong, because we didn't all have that at one point, and we all deserve it. So I will see you guys back for the next video and next live stream. Thank you all again. Peace out.